The latest from our daily newsletter at podnews.net. Journalist and filmmaker Jon Ronson is back with a new show, Things Fell Apart. It features strange, unexpected human stories from the culture wars and has a strange, unexpected distribution strategy. If you're in the UK, you'll hear it free on BBC Sounds or on BBC Radio 4 Tuesdays at 9. If you're in the US or Canada and using an Apple device, it's available on BBC Podcasts Premium on Apple Podcasts. And if you're on Android or elsewhere, you're out of luck. Acast released its Q3 21 results. Revenue was up 89% year-on-year to 265 million Swedish crowns, which is $30.8 million US. Listens have increased, and the company estimates that the Apple Podcasts download bug cost them nearly 6% of listens. However, the company made a net loss of $4.6 million in the quarter, a loss that's risen 15% year-on-year. The results are, of course, available as a podcast, because of course they are. Audacy reported their financial results for Q3 21. The company said an investor call it made around $16 million in revenue from podcasting, which is 4.8% of the total company's income. Futuri has released a major update to its post-radio to podcasting system. That's also recently been granted a US patent. We link to the patent, if you want to read it, in our show notes and our newsletter today. If you're working on fiction podcasts, we link to 7 podcast scripts for inspiration. And consider entering the Shaw Scripts 2021 podcast contest. That offers $5,000 for a pilot episode of the fiction podcast you've always wanted to make. The early deadline is November the 16th. The Brazilian Podcaster Association has released a survey of podcast creators. 44% host on Anchor, 65% don't monetize their shows in any way. Stitcher has signed an exclusive national distribution deal with NHPR. NHPR is an NPR member station. It's the first public radio station to do a deal with Stitcher, and Stitcher, as we understand it, competes with NPR's national public media for ad revenue. Curious. Clubhouse launched replays, recording for Clubhouse rooms. You can download the audio now, so perhaps it's a good place to make a podcast, or perhaps it isn't. The download is quite low quality, and Podchaser has added a feature for Podchaser Pro users that allows them to find podcasts that accept guests. In People News, a wild CRO has appeared. Brian Benedict is the new Chief Revenue Officer at Audacy. He joins from Niantic, the people who made Pokemon Go, and also Spotify. And in podcast news, Audacy's Cadence 13 has signed a contract extension with author and activist Glennon Doyle for We Can Do Hard Things. The show is twice weekly, and Podnews' podcast player has on it Rulstp. That really is the name, with Richard Herring. It's an interview podcast recorded in front of a live theatre audience in London. The latest episode has comedian Shaparak Khorsandi, who seems nice and occasionally replies to our tweets. And that's the latest from our daily newsletter. For all the links, we're at podnews.net.